guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I just wanted to do a quick video talking about a movie I just saw, and that's the 2017 release Leatherface. I've been on a bit of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre kick lately. A couple weeks back, Beth and I were at this action figure store, and my friend Tom from Tattoo Frenzy has it, and I was looking at it. It's a Leatherface figure with all green, and it's based off of the Atari game. So they make like a Friday the 13th one where he's wearing purple from the Nintendo game, but this one was a Leatherface and he was like all green because in the Atari game, I think he has blue or green on depending on if it's night or day. That's what I saw from the clips at least. So I was looking at it because I think it's a cool figure, and I was thinking about picking it up. And I downloaded, I think at the time, I downloaded the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies again to watch. The next day, Toby Hooper dies. So I'm like, or that night even. Like, well, that's weird. So I was watching all the movies. I bought some of them on Blu-ray. The ones that aren't on Blu-ray I'm holding off on right now, but I did pick up like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the beginning, the remake with Jessica Biel, the 3D version, which I sort of like in a way, even though some of the beginning isn't my favorite, but I do like some of the other parts. Yeah, so anyhow, that being said, Leatherface was out, I didn't realize this, on a, I guess, video-on-demand release with some sort of like limited theater run, or maybe they're going to do a theater run down the line, like a bigger one. I would think with a franchise like Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw, they would put it out there big time because people like the characters, they like the series. I don't think you have to do something like too much to really get people to see that kind of film. If they're into horror, they'll most likely have their ears perked up. So I downloaded the film and checked it out, and it was alright. It's weird to me because it doesn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw film really throughout the most of the film, and that's my biggest gripe. It tries to give a backstory to Leatherface. It shows him as a kid, and his parents are trying to, or his family I guess, are trying to like make him into like a nut job like them. So they're trying to get him to hurt people and kill people, and I think at the beginning they're trying to hit someone with a hammer, and they're yelling at him to do it, and he won't, well, not a hammer, excuse me, a chainsaw or something. I don't remember, I forget which it is, it might be a hammer, and he won't do it, and whatever. So eventually, and this is just the very beginning, so I'm not really spoiling much, the police come and they take him away, and they put him in a mental institution, and they change his name for his safety and whatever else, and he grows up there. And you don't know who he is during the film because his name is different, and they never really specify. I actually was like half paying attention at points, and I thought he was a different character at one point. So they sort of try to keep you going, guessing who's Leatherface and what's going to happen. But it almost feels like it's not really, I would say, gory. It could be kind of like aggressive in a way, the film, because these kids now escape the mental institution, and they're being chased by cops, and the cops don't like his family because they're like the crazy, troublemaking, I guess, cannibals in the area. So they're trying to track down him to make sure he doesn't like do anything, and I think the cop has like a vendetta. I don't want to get too much into that because that's part of the story that was interesting, but the cop has like a vendetta against him and his family, so he's trying to like go after him and kill him, and he's like very aggressive, and he's killing some of the other kids that are escaping or whatever. And by the end of the movie, you obviously figure out who Leatherface is and what fake name he was going under or whatever. You know the name at the beginning, but you don't really know which one's which, I think. Do you know the name? I don't know if you know the name at the beginning. I think you just know that the name was changed, if I recall. So the whole movie is like a chase with these kids from the mental institution getting picked off by the cops, and the mother, Leatherface's mother, going into the mental institution and doing like a court injunction to try and get him out, because I think she had married someone rich, they said, which I don't remember in the story at all, so that's where they added that in there. But now she has money, so she can like have some kind of court order to try and get him released into their custody or whatever, or get to see him or something. So at the end of the film, you figure out who Leatherface is, they reveal it, and there's a twist. And that was pretty cool. I thought the ending was good. I thought it was creepy in a way. I thought it was interesting. It was something you go, oh wow, I didn't kind of expect that to happen. But it wasn't like huge, but it was definitely interesting. And I liked what they did with the camera and the shots. Overall, it was alright. As I said, my biggest gripe is it doesn't feel like a Texas Chainsaw film. The first movie is very, you know, rough and feels very intense and crazy and weird. I'm not a big fan of the screaming in the first film that just goes throughout the second half of the movie. But the rest of it's awesome. And then the second film got like a black comedy kind of goofy tone, which I liked. And then I even liked, was it the Next Generation or the New Generation? So each movie does feel different. Some of them, they did go back and try and make the movies feel more like horror-ish. This one feels like a weird, almost like, I don't want to use the word teeny bopper, but yeah, teeny bopper chase film that turns into like horror. So it was good, but it wasn't like, you know, amazing. I also found it weird they called it Leatherface, because the third film is called Leatherface. It's called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 Leatherface, I think. So they've kind of like reused these names and stuff so much that I was surprised they used a similar name. It's like The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. He's just called Texas Chainsaw. The one with Jessica Biel is called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, the names are all so similar that they're very easily confused. For a long time, I thought The Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning was a documentary. And then I realized that that was a family portrait, and that I was looking at the wrong cover. So, either way, it was an okay film. I think if you're a fan of the other films, you'll most likely check it out anyway, and it's, you know, it's a decent view or rental. It's not going to bring the series back to its old glory, or, you know, for big horror fans, it's not going to be like, wow, this was a great horror movie. Like, I don't know how anyone else feels, but when I first saw Insidious, the first one, I really liked it. I thought it was like a really good horror movie. Second one's pretty good. Third one I really didn't like. But, you know, there's movies like that that you go, wow, this is a cool new horror movie. You know, I don't see many cool new horror movies. This really wasn't one of them. This was more of like a chase sequence type of movie with kids in it. So, check it out. Let me know what you think. Or if you have seen it, let me know what you thought. Thanks, guys, for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good. I did want to add one more thing before I forget. Stephen Dorff plays the cop that's got this vendetta against Leatherface and his family. He was pretty good. I thought he played a good nut job, like, or a good angry cop. And my favorite was Lily Taylor. She, I've always liked her acting. I find her to be strange in a way, but she was really good as Leatherface's mom in this movie. I thought she was like angry and volatile and kind of crazy and creepy in a way. I think she plays those roles really well. And if you haven't seen a lot of her other work, and this is going to be sort of tough to find, but check her out in this movie called The Addiction. It's a movie about a vampire who simulates being a drug addict. So it's like the correlation between being a drug addict and being a vampire, and like how you fiend for blood. And it's kind of artsy-fartsy. It's made by Abel Ferrara, the guy who did King of New York and Bad Lieutenant. But it's really good. It's not available on DVD, though, so you probably have to find some like VHS rip. But yeah, so I didn't want to like not mention them because I actually really liked her role, and I thought he was pretty good as well. Thanks, guys, again. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe for the second time. Be good.